How's it going, everyone? I'm Matt Vanacoro, and I'm here with Ask Audio. I am really excited to show you, well, 6 things that I find really interesting about the Yamaha Montage 6. So the Montage is the new keyboard workstation series from Yamaha. I've got the 61-note variant here, and I tried it out at NAMM, but I just couldn't wait to get my hands on it back here at Ask Audio headquarters. And I can tell you that the wait was well worth it. This is an amazing keyboard, a big step forward for workstations. And even after a couple of weeks with it, I'm still discovering new things about it every day. So here are 6 things that I found really, really cool that would be cool to look at in our video series that accompanies the article. We'll give it a full breakdown in the article, but these are the 6 things I thought would be cool to take a look at. The first is the Super Knob. Obviously, it's one of the big landmark features of this keyboard. It's this giant glowing orb knob on the top of the synth, and you can map it to just about everything. They've got it automatically mapped to a whole bunch of different things. So I could have, for example, like a strings and brass patch going on here where it's mostly strings with a little bit of brass, you know. And if I want to bring in some more brass, so you can fade in those instruments in and out with it, but you can do effects. It can be mapped to just about any of the different controls on the keyboard. Organ drawbars, and at the same time Leslie speakers, and at the same time harmonics and percussive sounds, just about anything. It's really amazing. So you map all the important stuff to this knob. And I'll tell you, their sound design team was hard at work with this one because everything that is automatically mapped already really just works really well. It's what I'd expect with that knob. You're on a blazing synth lead, you're adjusting cutoff and resonance. You've got some strings and brass patches. You're bringing in more brass. They auto-mapped it to so much great stuff. The Montage has a set list mode, which I really love. So you can just make some sets, call up your favorite sounds, have them ready to roll, and just jump in and organize them as you'd like. It's a really cool modern feature that's on a lot of workstations now. So I was really happy to see it brought to the Montage 6. The sound organization paradigm is really fresh and new. If you are a workstation user, then I don't think you've ever seen anything like this before. It's really interesting in that there is only one type of sound on the Montage. It doesn't have a separate combination, sequence performance mode, and then maybe a patch mode. It doesn't do that. It just has your set list mode, and then you go into performance mode. And there are some performances that have lots of layers to them, many, many instruments. And there are some performances that have a single patch or instrument on them. So it kind of gets rid of, like, don't worry about categorizing your sounds as this is a combination, this isn't a combination. They've just got everything is basically a combination, and some of them are combinations of single instruments. But even those, like piano, have multiple layers so that you can get like really unreal layers of velocity. So pianos that sound really fantastic, you can go to category search and you can just jump in there and get sounds with tons of layers and really, really an expressive sound. So there's a lot of expressivity even with these quote unquote single sounds because they can be made up of layers. The sound engines, you've got a sample-based engine to work with and a complete FM synthesis engine. So if you are a lover of FM, and we all know FM is coming back, the Yamaha is killing it with the Reface DX. You've got this DX engine, the FMX engine in here that you can program some really, really complex FM patches and layer them on top of the sample engine. So it's really cool. Creating sounds couldn't possibly be easier. I really love this. So if I go into the performance mode and I'm just taking a look at the CFX concert, I've got a Concert Grand. In the past, if I wanted to layer sounds, it could be difficult. A lot of pianos, a lot of workstations start you with a sound that has no routing. It doesn't even have any reverb on the piano. It could be dry, or you have to take a pre-existing combination, take out something that you didn't like, insert what you wanted, and then you'd wind up with something that's routed in a really funny way, and you have to go through and do a little detective work. Go, oh, I got to unroute it here and reroute it here. So with this, the Montage, it's just so simple. I mean, you go in, I go to one of these empty slots, I hit the plus sign, and then I can just search for a sound. So I'll just search for strings. I'll grab myself some classical strings, and then that's it. I'm done, and I'm ready to go. That sound is in there. I can go into part control and bring the volume down a bit if I want it a little quieter. So it's really neat. And I've got this scene section here of 8 different scenes where I can store different scenes of the same sound. So if I want to remix this sound, route different parameters differently, change the volume, all sorts of stuff, I can go ahead and have different versions of this same sound that I made. Rather than saving them as separate patches, within that patch, I can save, all the different versions of that sound. So that's really cool. And finally, since the routing is getting pretty complex with besides the fact that you can route all of these controls to things, you can also route the knob to control the controls. So with that type of complex routing, they've given you this top-down routing view that works really, really well. So while I'm in the sound, if I just go ahead and tap right here, then I can see on motion control what everything is mapped to. And it's color-coded. I mean, it's color-coded by controller, assignable, fader, what the super knob is controlling. So I can just take a look top down and see what is this thing actually controlling. It's really helpful. Again, it kind of gets the troubleshooting aspect out because you can do it so quickly and the music making aspect in. So I am a really big fan of this keyboard. They're going to have to take it out of my studio here from my cold, dead hands. It's going to be a real struggle. I'm really having fun with it, and I'm discovering new things about it every day. So 2 thumbs up from Ask Audio on the Yamaha Montage. Go check it out for sure.